The universe knew them as the Vaithari, silent, perfect killers who left no witnesses, only bones picked cleaner than a starved vulture's feast. Their reputation wasn't earned, it was carved into the flesh of 1,000 civilizations. They didn't conquer worlds, they erased them. Galactic warlords surrendered at the whisper of their approach, and entire armies crumbled before firing a shot. Fear was their weapon, sharper than the plasma blades humming at their wrists. But fear, as it turned out, was a language not everyone spoke. On the ragged edge of human space, in a rust-streaked prefab house clinging to the Kansas dirt like a stubborn weed, Sarah Kincaid wiped motor oil from her hands and squinted at the sky. The weather report hadn't mentioned storms, yet the air tasted metallic, like a busted fuse. Her son, Eli, crouched in the driveway, poking at a beetle with a stick. "Mom," he said, without looking up, "why's it so quiet?" Sarah froze. The cicadas had stopped. The neighbor's dog wasn't barking. Even the wind had died mid-breath. Her spine remembered this feeling, Afghanistan, the second before an IED blew. Instinct yanked her toward Eli just as the first scream tore through the twilight. Not human. Something wrong, a sound that slithered between pitches like a knife dragged across glass. The Vaithari didn't announce their arrival. One moment, the road was empty, the next, 3 figures stood at the property line, their silhouettes warping the fading light. 7 feet tall, limbs two-jointed, faces smooth and blank as porcelain masks. Their armor drank the sunset, reflecting nothing. Sarah didn't waste time on questions. She lunged, snatching Eli under one arm and the Remington 870 from beside the door in a single motion. The screen door slammed behind them as she barreled into the house, kicking the reinforced cellar hatch open with a boot heel. Down. Now that Eli tumbled into the dark, but not before she saw his face, wide-eyed, trusting. He'd never seen her afraid. Upstairs, the walls groaned. Something clicked, a sound that bypassed her ears and vibrated straight into her molars. The Vaithari didn't bother with doorknobs. Sarah chambered around. The shotgun's weight was an old friend. 2 tours as a combat engineer had taught her 3 truths. Explosives were predictable, men were stupid, and anything that bled could die. These things? She didn't know if they bled. But she'd find out. The first Vaithari phased through the living room wall like a shadow stepping out of a mirror. Its head tilted, studying her, not as prey, but as a curiosity. A glitch. Humans were supposed to freeze. To weep. Sarah exhaled and pulled the trigger. The blast punched a fist-sized hole through its chest. Black ichor splattered the wallpaper her grandmother had hung. The creature looked down, then back at her, and did something truly terrifying. It laughed star. A dry, rattling sound, like pebbles in a tin can. Noted, Sarah muttered, racking another shell. The second shot took its knee. The third, its throat. It collapsed, twitching, but the others didn't pause. They moved in unison, closing the distance faster than she could reload. Sarah backpedaled into the kitchen, fingers scrambling for the cast-iron skillet still greasy from dinner. She swung hard. The impact sent a jolt up her arms, but the Vaithari staggered, its mask cracking like eggshell. Beneath the shards, something wet, something vulnerable star. A plasma blade seared past her ear, slicing a lock of hair that drifted to the floor in slow motion. Sarah ducked, driving her shoulder into the thing's gut. It felt like tackling a refrigerator, but she'd flipped hums for fun in the army. Momentum was physics, and physics didn't care about alien ego. They crashed through the pantry door, flour exploding in a hazy cloud. Somewhere in the whiteout, her fingers closed around the steak knives. She buried one to the hilt in the Vaithari's thigh. It shrieked, a sound that shattered the remaining light bulbs. Darkness didn't bother Sarah. Darkness was home. When the last of them fled, actually fled, phasing through the ceiling like ghosts caught in a lie, she stood panting in the wreckage, Eli's tiny hand clutching her jeans. The house reeked of ozone and blood. One Vaithari corpse lay at her feet, the others gone. For now. Sarah scooped up the Remington. The aliens had made a mistake tonight. Not invading Earth. Not picking this town. Picking her. The Vaithari did not sleep, but for the first time in their existence, they hesitated. Their hive mind pulsed with confusion, a discordant ripple through the collective. Scans of the human female's dwelling revealed nothing extraordinary: primitive firearms, blunt tools, no energy signatures beyond a flickering refrigerator. Yet one of their own lay dead, its bioarmor ruptured by gunpowder of all things. The others had retreated not out of defeat, but necessity. Something was wrong. Sarah Kincaid knew they'd be back. She dragged the alien corpse into the barn, its weight leaving a slick trail in the dirt. Eli watched from the doorway, clutching a flashlight with both hands. "Is it really dead?" he whispered. Sarah wiped her palms on her jeans. "Yeah. But its friends aren't." She crouched, prying open the creature's armor with a crowbar. The black carapace split like overcooked lobster shell, revealing sinewy muscle and veins that glowed faintly blue. Eli gagged. Sarah didn't flinch. She'd seen worse in Kandahar. The Vathari's weapon was still clutched in its clawed hand, a sleek, curved blade humming with restrained energy. She touched it. The moment her fingers made contact, a jolt seared up her arm, and the weapon activated its edge shimmering like heat haze. Eli gasped. Sarah's mouth curled into a grin. "Mom," Eli said, eyes wide. "You're bleeding." She glanced down. The blade had nicked her thumb, a bead of blood welling up. But the wound was already closing, the skin knitting itself back together in seconds. The weapon had done something to her. Or for her. Outside, the wind picked up, carrying the scent of ozone. The Vathari were coming. Sarah moved fast. She hacked the alien's arm off at the elbow, the plasma blade making quick work of bone and tendon. Then she grabbed her shotgun from the workbench and began modifying it with ruthless precision. The Vathari's weapon would become its own undoing. Eli tugged her sleeve. "What if there's too many?" Sarah paused, then ruffled his hair. "Then we'll even the odds." The first wave hit at midnight. They came in silence, gliding over the cornfields like shadows given form. Sarah waited on the porch, the modified Remington resting across her knees. The Vathari stopped at the edge of the property, their blank faces tilted in unison. Assessing. She didn't give them time to decide. The first shot tore through the lead alien's chest, the plasma-infused buckshot burning through armor like paper. It screamed, a sound that shattered the kitchen windows, and collapsed. The others scattered, their movements suddenly less graceful, less certain star. Sarah racked another shell. "Welcome to Earth." The barn doors burst open. Eli stood inside, gripping the severed alien arm like a grotesque torch, its weapon still active. The Vathari froze. Their hive minds stuttered, a flicker of something alien flooding their thoughts. Fear. Sarah didn't hesitate. She fired again. And again. The Vathari retreated, phasing into the night like mist before a storm. But not all of them made it. When it was over, Sarah slumped against the porch railing, her breath ragged. Eli ran to her, his small hands shaking. "Did we win?" She pulled him close, watching the horizon. "For now." But the night wasn't done with them yet. The Vathari did not understand retreat. Until now. Their hive mind thrummed with dissonance, a chorus of fractured certainty. The human female had not only resisted them, she had adapted star. Their own weapons turned against them, their tactics unraveled by something they had never encountered before, a creature that refused to die quietly. Sarah Kincaid knew this wasn't over. She stood in the wreckage of her barn, the severed alien arm still pulsing faintly in her grip. The plasma blade's energy had seeped into her somehow, stitching her wounds shut before they could bleed. It wasn't just healing. It was changing her. Her senses sharpened, the night air crisp as shattered glass. She could hear Eli's heartbeat from across the room, steady but scared. "We can't stay here," she muttered, tossing the arm onto the workbench. The Vathari would regroup. They would come back harder, angrier. And next time, they wouldn't stop at her house. Eli clutched the edge of the table, his knuckles white. "Where do we go?" Sarah's gaze flicked to the horizon, where the first hints of dawn bled into the sky. There was only one answer. "We take the fight to them." The Vathari ship loomed over the abandoned grain silos, a sleek obsidian dagger plunged into the earth. It hummed with a sound that made Sarah's teeth ache, a frequency just beyond human hearing. She crouched in the tall grass, Eli beside her, the modified shotgun slung across her back. The alien tech in her veins buzzed in response to the ship's presence, like a magnet drawn to its opposite pole. "You remember the plan?" she whispered. Eli nodded, gripping the plasma torch, the repurposed alien blade, tight in his small hands. "Cause a distraction. Stick to the shadows. Don't get dead." Sarah smirked. "Close enough." She moved first, a shadow in the pre-dawn gloom. The Vathari had posted guards, their forms shifting in and out of visibility like glitches in reality. Sarah didn't bother with stealth. She wanted them to see her. The first shot rang out, the plasma-infused buckshot tearing through the nearest alien's chest. It crumpled, its death cry a static shriek that split the air. The others whirled toward her, their movements synchronized, precise. Sarah grinned. Yeah. That's right. Come get me. She led them on a chase through the skeletal remains of the silos, her boots kicking up dust as she ducked behind rusted metal and crumbling concrete. The Vathari followed, their plasma blades carving through steel like butter. But they were predictable. They moved as one, thought as one. And that was their mistake. Eli struck from the shadows, the plasma torch flaring to life as he drove it into the back of a Vathari's knee. The alien staggered, its leg buckling with a wet asterisk crack star. It turned on him, its blank face looming. Sarah's shotgun roared. The alien's head vaporized in a spray of black ichor. The remaining Vathari faltered. For the first time, their unity fractured. They hesitated. Sarah didn't. She charged, the alien tech in her blood singing as she moved faster than should have been possible. The shotgun bucked in her hands, each shot finding its mark. The Vathari fell, one by one, their perfect coordination unraveling under the chaos of a mother's wrath. The last one stood at the ship's ramp, its faceless gaze locked on her. It didn't attack. It didn't flee. It simply watched as if seeing her for the first time. Then it spoke. A single word, hissed through the static of a dozen voices. How? Sarah leveled the shotgun. You picked the wrong damn planet. The blast tore through the alien's chest, sending it sprawling onto the ship's ramp. The vessel shuddered, its hum rising to a deafening whine as the remaining Vathari inside retreated, the ramp ceiling shut behind them. The ship lifted off, its engines screaming as it vanished into the morning sky. Silence settled over the field. Eli stumbled to her side, his breath coming in ragged gasps. Did we win? Sarah watched the empty sky, the shotgun warm in her hands. For now. But the tech in her veins still hummed. And somewhere out there, the Vathari were regrouping. This wasn't over. It was just beginning. The world didn't feel right anymore. Sarah stood in the ruins of the silos, the taste of burnt metal and alien blood thick on her tongue. The morning sun painted the wreckage in gold, but the light felt hollow, like a lie. Her hands trembled, not from exhaustion, but from something deeper. The Vathari tech still hummed beneath her skin, a foreign pulse that had woven itself into her bones. She flexed her fingers, watching as the veins in her wrist flickered blue for half a heartbeat before fading. Eli tugged at her sleeve. Mom? You okay? She forced a smile. Just tired, kiddo. But tired didn't cover it. The government found them before noon. Black SUVs rolled up the dirt road, kicking up dust like a storm. Men in tactical gear spilled out, rifles raised but not yet aimed. Sarah shoved Eli behind her, her grip tightening on the shotgun. She'd expected this. Surviving aliens was one thing, surviving the fallout was another. A man in a crisp suit stepped forward, his sunglasses hiding his eyes. Sarah Kincaid. Yeah. She didn't lower the gun. You're coming with us. Like hell I am. The man sighed, as if this were just another Tuesday. You've got alien DNA in your bloodstream. Your son's a witness to an extraterrestrial incursion. You really think you've got a choice? Sarah's jaw clenched. She could fight. She'd won against worse. But Eli was shaking behind her, his small fingers digging into her shirt. She couldn't risk him. Fine, she spat. But if any of you point a gun at my kid, I'll show you what I did to the aliens. The man actually smiled. We're counting on it. The facility was sterile, white, and utterly silent. They'd taken her blood, scanned her brain, run tests she didn't understand. Eli sat in the corner of the examination room, legs swinging off a too-big chair, a coloring book in his lap. He'd been quiet since they arrived, his usual chatter replaced by wary silence. Sarah flexed her hand again. The cut from the plasma blade had healed completely, not even a scar left behind. The door hissed open. The man in the suit, Agent Locke, he'd called himself, walked in, a tablet tucked under his arm. You're clean, he said. No signs of hostile mutation. Just, enhanced cellular regeneration. For now. Sarah narrowed her eyes. What's that mean? It means you're useful. He tapped the tablet, and a holographic map flickered to life above it, a star chart, dotted with red markers. The Vathari weren't just here for you. They've hit 6 other sites across the globe. Moscow. Beijing. Some backwater in Chile. You're the only one who fought back. Sarah's stomach twisted. Why? Locke's expression darkened. Because they're not just assassins. They're harvesters. They take what they need from a species, usually something biological, some quirk of DNA, and then they wipe the rest out. You didn't just survive them, Ms. Kincaid. You stole from them. The hum in her veins pulsed, as if agreeing. Eli looked up from his coloring book. Are they coming back? Locke hesitated. Yes. Sarah stood, the chair scraping against the floor. Then give me a gun and point me at them. Locke studied her for a long moment. Then he reached into his jacket and slid a keycard across the table. We've got something better. The elevator descended further than Sarah thought possible. When the doors opened, she stepped into a hangar the size of a football field. And in the center of it, gleaming under the fluorescent lights, was a ship. Not Vathari. There's. Eli gasped. Whoa. Sarah's pulse spiked. The ship was sleek, angular, built for war. Human war. And stamped on the side, in peeling stencil paint, was a single word, *Revenant. Locke crossed his arms. We reverse-engineered what we could from the wrecks they left behind. This is the first one that flies. We were waiting for the right pilot. Sarah's mouth went dry. You're joking. Do I look like I joke? The hum beneath her skin surged, as if the ship were calling to her. She could almost hear it, a whisper in a language she didn't know but somehow understood. Eli tugged her hand. Mom. You gotta say yes. Sarah exhaled. The Vathari would return. They'd come for her, for Eli, for everyone. She could run. Or she could fight. She met Locke's gaze. When do we start? Outside, thunder rumbled. But the sky was clear. It wasn't thunder,